Hello everyone, Snake here with another Minecraft video for you. Today we're going to have some tips and tricks that might help you in your Minecraft worlds. These are things I've learned myself recently that I didn't know. Minecraft is such a huge game that there's so many mechanics to it. People are learning new things every day, and I just wanted to share some of these tips and tricks with you. So I'll make you guys a deal. If you learned something in today's video, you gotta leave me a like. You just gotta. And if you don't learn anything, you guys can dislike the video. So with that said, let's get right into it. Now the first thing I have here regarding beacons is that typically they don't go through solid blocks. You have to have glass or an opening above them to the sky for them to work. But I did learn recently that beacons will in fact shine right through till dirt. So there we go, you can see I have a beacon underneath here and it goes right through that soil, so you could hide your beacon underneath dirt. The next thing I learned was that regarding the respawn anchor, you guys may remember something called a nether generator if you are an older player. It was an item that basically served no purpose as far as I'm aware, and they removed it from the game. However, the texture for it is alive and well, and it takes the form between the two types of obsidian. So as you can see, I've stacked respawn anchors, crying, and regular obsidian, and you can see it directly between those two, the almost black obsidian and the more illuminated crying obsidian. The bottom of the respawn anchor has the same texture in a slightly different color. I honestly never knew that when you power the Ender Dragon head that you can find on the front of the ships in the end dimension, it will move. Unfortunately, an observer does not detect this change, so they can't really do much with that. However, basically attaching it to any power source will cause its mouth to move, which is pretty cool. The next tip here is especially useful for games such as Skyblock, where you have limited water source. All you need is a bone meal and one bucket to be able to get multiple water sources. Now what you're going to do is just dig a 2 deep hole. You're going to put your water in the top and just use bone meal on the bottom. Now when that seagrass forms, it creates another water source. So now we can go ahead and scoop our 2. Just make a typical little hole there for our infinite water source. Okay, so now we're way up in the air. We just finished building our mob spawner, and we need some water streams to flush these mobs, but I really don't want to go down there to grab all of those. You could build another little infinite water source up here and just bring water back and forth. But sometimes when you got a big old farm, it's going to be kind of annoying having to do that and tote water back and forth. Having an inventory full of buckets is kind of less than ideal, because now you don't have room for tools or ender chest or food, anything like that. So why don't you just come over here and have a shulker box full of ice. It's regular old ice. You just come to the spots where you want your water sources at your farm, and once you bust that ice, it becomes a water source. Oh, I'm going down! Speaking of water streams and such, don't be the guy who's always walking around with frostwalker boots. There's nothing more annoying than the guy who's freezing up water streams and mob farms and item chutes because he's walking around with his frostwalker boots. Just don't be that guy. The next one's a little bit of a cheaty trick, but we all get lost occasionally in our worlds, and if you don't have the materials to actually make a compass, you can go into your item screen here and look, and the compass that's actually displayed there will point in the direction of the world spawn. This next tip is for all you YouTubers or other content creators out there, and that is that invisibility potions are actually very handy when you are filming certain angles to make your character disappear. I bet you didn't even know I was looking right at you, did you? This one is pretty widely known, but actually Netherride is a movable and blast-proof block, allowing the construction of certain flying machines and contraptions that can have a shield on them. the same is actually said for the much cheaper alternative of ancient debris. So ancient debris is movable as well, but just as blast proof and a lot more cost efficient. And of course the other blocks like obsidian you're unable to move. And this last one is one I wish I really did know myself a lot earlier when I was making my guardian farm, and that is that if we go into the nether here with our sponges, typically you dry a sponge in the furnace and it would take a little bit of time as well as fuel. If we go into the nether and we place sponges, they dry out instantly, as you can see, which is very handy as well as safe if you have a hub to do it in. Well, there you go guys, those were a few tips and tricks that you guys can hopefully find some use for. I hope they help you as much as they did help me when I figured some of these out. If you liked this video, please remember to leave a like, and if you like this kind of content, subscribe, because I'll have more coming out in the future. So anyway, man, this invisibility potion lasts a long time. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.